CONCLAVE is a mystery thriller directed by Edward Berger, who is known for 2022's All Quiet on the Western Front. It is written by Peter Strohorn, based on the 2016 novel by Robert Harris. After the unexpected death of the Pope, Cardinal Lawrence is tasked with managing the ancient ritual of electing a new one. Sequestered in the Vatican, with the Catholic Church's most powerful leaders until the process is complete, Lawrence finds himself at the centre of a conspiracy that could lead to its downfall. Lawrence soon finds himself investigating secrets and scandals about each candidate. This review will be spoiler-free. There has been much hype surrounding Conclave's potential Oscar nominations in Best Picture and Adapted Screenplay, as well as Best Actor for Ralph Fiennes, who stars as Cardinal Lawrence. Does this film live up to that hype? I finally got a chance to see it, and I found many of its aspects to be unexpected in a satisfying way. I love a good mystery thriller, and this is a pretty well-made one. You hear flourishes of the score in the trailer, but I was still immensely impressed with the score for the film. Composer Volker Bertelmann utilizes lots of space between sharp violin strums, reminiscent of composer Bernard Herrmann. Not only is the score a standout element, but so is the sound design and mixing in general. I can't mention the exact moment as it is a spoiler, but there is a great use of sound in the third act when a ballot paper is being slid into a voting box. If you've seen the film, you will know what I am talking about. The way that the editing is paired with the cue, it's very good. Silence is used to great effect in many scenes. You can hear a pin drop in the cinema. It is easy to get wrapped up in predicting one particular character as the one who will become Pope. Ultimately, the film leads you down a certain path with a particular character, but if you are paying attention, you may easily pick who it will actually be. However, you will not expect how they use that particular character to cast a wider lens on the Catholic Church in the modern era. You don't often get to see a story like this depicted in modern times, and aside from time-accurate jokes, such as a cardinal scrolling through his phone or taking a hit from a vape mid-argument, the film actually examines what these gender roles within the church mean nowadays, and how they may change going forward. It shows the unrest that still exists within religious groups and, by extension, today's society. Why accept other religions and cultures if they do not accept yours? Are there negative consequences to who you let into the church? Is this institution serving God or serving those whom run it? All of these questions are interesting and relevant to our society. And they are relevant. These institutions have existed for a long time, and that means something. Even though I am someone who does not belong to one particular religion, I do not dismiss the importance of religion. The film takes care with these topics. However, it is surprisingly funny, not just in little moments such as the ones with phones or vapes that I spoke of before, but with characters reacting to ideas that they find challenging. At times, it pokes fun at some of the rigid beliefs of the church, but it doesn't do so in a way that disrespects the church. The predictably great Ralph Fiennes gives a suitably understated performance as the character is grappling with a lot, while Stanley Tucci gives a louder performance, the best I have ever seen from him. Both characters harbour doubts, insecurities, and questions to ask of themselves morally. While it is clear that these characters are full of complex thoughts and emotions, such as the implications on their faith that the negative nature of political strategizing can have, there is no deep exploration of these characters and those struggles. The film makes very good use of its runtime, but it doesn't leave much room for an examination of these characters. They ultimately want to do right, we know that much, but it never treads into the territory where the audience can question them. It never gets dangerous. John Lithgow is also fantastic as a more questionable character who seems to get himself wrapped up easily. However, I couldn't help but feel that this character was not the villain he was being framed as, but the film doesn't blur the lines, even when it seems primed to do so. It is a plot-driven film, more than a character-driven film, but I feel that it could have been both, which in turn would have made it a stronger film. I wasn't rooting for anyone in particular because I didn't know enough about any given character to really go for one of them. I wish I had. These are not thinly written characters. They are interesting. They are merely explored at a surface level. I didn't find this decision to keep the characters at arm's length to be disappointing, but to be a bit of wasted potential for tension and audience rumination. I wanted the screenplay to explore the characters politically. I understand that spirituality is not a prime focus here. I just want to mention briefly that all the characters wear a very striking red that gives the film a distinct look. Many have spoken of Isabella Rossellini giving a small but memorable performance in this film, one that could potentially earn her a Best Supporting Actress Oscar nomination, despite her lack of screen time. I must agree with these assessments as she is a standout. That curtsy moment was extremely amusing. The audience in my cinema laughed a lot all throughout the film. When I say the film was surprising or unexpected, it is because of these elements: the music, the comedy, the overall messaging the film leaves you with. As a full experience, it is written and paced tightly, there is no doubt about that. However, I have certainly seen films that do the thrilling election concept much more intensely and interestingly. I was always engaged, but I never felt on the edge of my seat, mainly because the characters are not explored in the complex manner that they could have been, because the characters themselves are well formed. They all have the necessary elements needed for the screenplay to delve deeper. I don't think this film is going to blow anyone's socks off. I wouldn't even say it is one of the best films I've seen this year, although this year has been a bit of a dry one. The film is very solid though and well put together. I would recommend the film if you're into mystery thrillers. The film isn't really about religion, but you will likely still find it interesting if you are religious or a fan of religious films.